So, I imagine the big question is, how am I possibly going to top last week's movie, Attack of the Super Monsters? I mean, short of showing you some of the clips I ran out of room for last time, that is.
What was their purpose? Why had they suddenly reappeared? The answer was a fearful one indeed.
You will all be destroyed! Then you will all die!
I'm going to ram it and blow him to kingdom come.
We'll be killed!
You won't, my friend. Farewell.
Whoa! Jerry!
Nope, not gonna milk it. Could milk it, not gonna milk it. Anyway, this week's movie is Equinox, which was released in 1970 but actually made in the mid-1960s as an amateur movie project by a then 20-year-old kid named Dennis Muren. Is that name familiar to you? If so, it's probably because not long after this he'd become a rising star in the world of special effects, instrumental in the production of, well, these. Yeah, he's kind of important. But back then, like so many others, he was just a young guy who'd grown up obsessed with old sci-fi and monster movies, part of the nationwide army of pre-digital movie geeks united by fanzines like Famous Monsters, which really did function like a pre-internet internet in terms of networking. And in 1965, he and some of his like-minded pals, including Jim Danforth and David Allen, started making a $6,500 homegrown monster movie called The Equinox, A Journey into the Supernatural. Our story, a pair of college-age couples go exploring in the woods and find a mysterious book, the reading of which appears to open a gateway to another dimension and flood the area with various monsters. And yes, that's very much the same basic story as the much better known Evil Dead, made under very similar circumstances about 15 years later. There's some confusion as to how aware the makers of Evil Dead were of the relatively obscure Equinox at the time, but other than the setup, they aren't terribly similar. Actually, plot is kind of being charitable with Equinox anyway. It plays like exactly what it is, a fan film, a bunch of young folks making a movie in tribute to the movies that had inspired them. In this case, it's a Ray Harryhausen monster flick on a budget, functioning mostly as a test reel for special effects techniques they'd been studying all those years. There's a big King Kong type guy. A disappearing, reappearing castle.
What's a castle doing in this area?
An octopus that tears up a cabin. A big winged devil. And even a giant. And what's cool about the giant is, that's not a green screen shot. That's an in-camera effect. The guy playing the giant is standing on a platform closer to the camera, dressed to match the terrain several yards behind him where the little guy is standing. Cool, huh? Here's where this starts to get interesting. The movie actually came out decent enough that Muren and company decided to try shopping it to various distributors, eventually finding a taker in Jack H. Harris, who specialized in offbeat genre pictures like Dinosaurus and The Blob. Harris picked the film up, but there was a small catch. At only 71 minutes long, it was too short for theaters. But Harris liked the movie, so he and his friend, director Jack Woods, sought out and brought back the cast of amateur local actors who'd appeared in the original 5 years earlier and shot some new scenes to pad out the running time. Woods himself appeared as a new villain who somehow arouses absolutely no suspicions despite being named Park Ranger Asmodeus. The reshoots make the movie pretty strange, honestly, a weird mix of more innocent 60s monster fandom and more lurid, aggressive early 70s satanic horror aesthetics. But the monster movie stuff was still a lot of fun, and it earned the film a proper place as a late-night TV staple throughout the 70s. In the 80s, it was re-released to home video as The Beast, but after that it pretty much disappeared from the cultural radar save for magazine articles and documentaries about its creators, who'd all gone on to make big names for themselves. David Allen went on to become one of the industry's top stop-motion animators, while Jim Danforth became protege to his idol Ray Harryhausen and a sought-after creator of matte paintings. But in 2006, specialty DVD outfit par excellence The Criterion Collection brought the film out of mothballs for a lavish 2-disc set that included interviews, commentaries, retrospectives, and for the first time ever, the original uncut 1967 version of the film, which for the record is the better one. Definitely worth seeking out for fans of obscure early work of present-day legends. And so, Schlocktober 2012 comes to a close. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. I leave you once more with Emperor Tyrannus.